So, folks, we have to talk about Donald Trump's Board of Peace. And I really don't know how to say this. I don't think I've ever seen such a wretched gang of thieves. You know, we have to talk about it, but holy moly. Like everyone involved in this is going to hell. Just actual literal hell. It's one of the worst things I've seen in a long time. Let's just watch Donald Trump introduce it, and then I want to go over some of the speeches from Rubio, Witkoff, and Kushner about the rollout of the Board of Peace. Okay? What is the Board of Peace? Well, as part of the Gaza ceasefire deal, there is a plan as part of that the United States will head up the Board of Peace, and that the president, i.e. Donald Trump, will be the head of it, and then other folks will be extended offers to join the Board of Peace, and others can buy their way onto the Board of Peace for $1 billion into a fund that is controlled by the chairman of the board, which would be Donald Trump in this case. So it's basically just a way to funnel billions of dollars to Donald Trump. And some of the people who are already on board with this are Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu is on the Gaza Board of Peace, immediately discrediting basically anything it has to say. But also just a variety of different world leaders who are just trying to buy good favor from Donald Trump. It is transparently a scheme to enrich Donald Trump. Not only that, as the United States increasingly isolates itself from the international community and the UN in particular, the Board of Peace is shaping up to be kind of like if you made an evil United Nations. If you made an evil UN dedicated to thievery and banditry, that would be the Board of Peace. And it is an alternate structure of international relations in which Donald Trump is the mob boss, essentially. It is very weird to start off with, but also, Shootbang, you're 100% right. This won't succeed in the long term, but in the short term, essentially what the United States is doing is leaving the UN and throwing all of its chips into this particular bucket in order to enrich Donald Trump. So that's where we are. Multiple of you said Bizarro UN at the same time. That's crazy. You know, if Iran has $1 billion, they could do the funniest thing right now. True. Let's take a look at Donald Trump's speech here about how great the Board of Peace is. Let's take a look at our big orange boy.
Well, this is a very exciting day, long in the making, and many countries have just...
Dude, are you already out of breath from walking across the stage? This man might genuinely be days away from kicking the bucket. That's crazy.
Received their notice, and everybody wants to be a part of it. And we'll work with many others, including the United Nations. But I want to thank you all for being here. Yesterday we had an incredibly successful visit with many of the world's top business leaders, the best, the biggest, most successful, and foreign heads of state. And now we have one of the most important meetings of all, the official formation of what is known as the Board of Peace. I want to thank the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Jared.
Yeah, did you guys all know, just as a side note, Donald Trump doesn't believe in exercise? Not in I'm doing a jab at him. I'm not doing a bit. He genuinely doesn't believe in the concept of exercise, and he's talked about this in interviews before, because he thinks that every human being has a finite amount of energy. You're born with a battery inside of you. And so if you work out, you use the energy that you have in your body. And when you run out, you die. That's his concept of like health. I don't know. I'm just saying, if that's true, I think he's running low. I think his battery hasn't been recharged and he's feeling it. God. Have I seen the Apprentice, the movie about him? I have not. So he doesn't eat then?
He's had
No, he
multiple
eats.
strokes. Those hand bruises are the route of administration for 4-stroke meds. 4 months to live, tops.
God, there is a part of it where, like, not only is this to enrich himself and to aggrandize himself, I do think a part of it is he genuinely thinks that he's doing a good thing in the process of doing all of that. Like, sure, it's corrupt as hell, but it's also called the Board of Peace, and genuinely that, in his feeble mental state, might have bamboozled him. He might genuinely be like, yes, I did the Board of Peace. They're gonna let me into heaven now because I boarded the peace. And Marco Rubio's just like, shh, sir, shh, rest, and make me president. What? Make me president. What? Jared, is that you?
Kushner and their extraordinary work. I mean, they have done an amazing job. We have peace in the Middle East. Nobody thought that was possible. We've settled 8 wars.
Yes, we have peace. We finally have peace in the Middle East, which is why several nations are currently engaged in campaigns to bomb each other.
And I believe another one's coming pretty soon. You know what that is? The one that I thought was good.
Fuck, I should have... The missed opportunity of that joke. I should have said, Jeffrey, is that you?
It'll be an easy one. It's turned out to be probably the most difficult. Last month, 29,000 people died, mostly soldiers. Ukraine, Russia. Think of that, 29,000, 27...
Yeah, there's peace in the Middle East, but they're still bombing civilians in Gaza and killing journalists. There's peace in the Middle East, but, like, you've got the Israeli settlers going into Palestinian houses and, like, attacking activists in the West Bank. There's peace in the Middle East, but, like, they bomb in Syria.
7,000 in the month before, 26,000 in the month before that. It's terrible. But we have meetings and we think we're making a lot of progress. Thanks as
We're making a lot of progress.
No amount of makeup can hide that this golfer is a few strokes over par.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Like, genuinely, he has brain damage. That's why they keep giving him dementia tests, guys. They're not giving him cognitive tests because he's just so smart. They need to do more.
well to Secretary Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, and Chris Wright.
Like, ironically, he's Bidening harder than Biden ever did.
U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, they're all doing such an incredible job. Ambassador Callista Gingrich, who is here, doing a really fantastic work. Thank you, Callista. And many other members of my administration who are so committed.
Oh, yeah, he's due for a checkup in like a week or two, according to Sam Cedar.
Oh, no, Sam Cedar. Wow, what a fucking nightmare.
But, if he does go in for a checkup in like 2 weeks, it'll be, his first checkup of the year. It'll be his first yearly physical of the year. He'll be on a new cycle.
To peace. And they're also committed to great success. Very importantly, let me recognize the very first group of distinguished members of the Board of Peace. They will be introduced by name in just a moment.
He's like struggling to get air out of his lungs. It's difficult. Like, do conservatives watch this and they're like, yeah, this guy's doing fine. This guy's doing great. Look at him. He's strong as an ox. Are you guys so deep in the sauce, conservatives, that you don't see this man like fucking struggling to form words? Like,
Caroline will be doing that introduction. And to each and every one of you, we are truly honored by your presence today. Leaders of countries, and
It's like a fish out of
most
water.
cases very popular leaders. Some cases not so popular, but that's the way it goes in life. Thanks as well to
Late bloomer grandma, thank you
This
for the
all
sub.
feels like a group of indulging grown-ups placating a difficult, demanding toddler by giving him fake praise and participation trophies.
It is, except that the fake praise and participation trophies are billions of dollars.
President Karol Nawrocki of Poland, who's a fantastic man. He just won a very big election. I'm very proud of him.
Fantastic man. Very big election.
Amazing. Along with former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Tony Blair. Thank you, Tony, for being here. We appreciate it.
Oh God, they resurrected the corpse of Tony Blair to be on the peace board? Cool.
And members of the Board of Peace Executive Board. Great group. This week marks the one-year anniversary of my second inauguration as president. No administration in history has achieved such a sweeping turnaround in 12 months' time at home and abroad. We have a tremendous mandate. We won the popular vote by millions. We won every swing state.
Guys, what are your plans when it finally happens? Oh, I'm gonna drink heavily in celebration. I'm gonna get intoxicated and I'm gonna dance. And I'm going to dress slutty, and I'm gonna do it all, baby. It's gonna be wild, and I'm gonna have a great time with my partner. We're gonna dance together. I'm gonna get so zooted when it happens. I haven't seen somebody use the word zooted in a long time. I'm gonna feast. Hell yeah. People, they're gonna be parties in the streets. It's gonna be crazy. Do you have any idea how hard Minnesota is gonna party after all that this administration has done here? We're gonna party so fucking hard.
8-7, they were saying, can he win all 7? Is it possible? Because it's not done, and we won all 7. We have a great mandate back at home. As I said yesterday, the U.S. economy is booming with virtually no inflation. It was 1.2% for the last 3 months, and we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country.
How difficult is it to urinate on a president's grave? Just apropos of nothing, not related to anything we've been talking about. Like, is it hard? Do they have like a guard placed there to make sure no one does? I'm just wondering if any of you know off the top of your head.
And we have economic growth now of 5.4%, it looks like. And I think that number can double and triple if we do the right things and if we change thinking so that if you announce good numbers...
You could use a drone. I feel like that'd be so much more incriminating somehow.
The markets go up instead of if you announce good numbers, the market goes down because everybody tries to kill it by lowering or raising interest rates depending on the situation. When America booms, the entire world booms. And we have secured commitments for over $18 trillion in new investment coming into our country, which is a record by many times over, not just by a little bit, by many times. There's no country ever in history that's gotten anywhere near that number. Slashed our trade deficit by 77%. This is in 1 year. Yesterday was 1 year.
That's bad. It was good to be importing more things to the United States that we were sending out. That was a good thing, you dipshit. It's a consumer-based economy.
And signed historic trade deals with nations from all over the globe. Today, the world is richer, safer, and much more peaceful than it was just 1 year ago. We put out all those fires. A lot of people didn't know, including me, that some of those wars were going on. And some of them were going on for, in one case, 32 years, in another case, 35 years, and another one, 37 years. We were very happy to stop the war that had started with India and Pakistan, 2 nuclear nations. And I was very honored when the
What wars? Look, Gamergy, the imaginary wars. In his head, he imagined them being very big and happening. And in his mind, he's like diffusing World War 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Minister of
And then maybe 12 and a half. In his mind, that's what he's doing.
Pakistan said President Trump saved 10 and maybe
Yeah, he diffused the Star Wars.
20 million lives by getting that stopped just before bad things were going to happen. As president, I ended those 8 wars in 9 months, including Cambodia and Thailand. And by the way, many of them...
God, by the time he's done in this administration, he's going to be like, I stopped 300 wars. More wars than have been stopped ever.
Leaders are here. Kosovo
300.
and Serbia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran.
Remember that this man, on a whim, ordered a coup against Venezuela? And also the assassination of the top military leader in Iran? Like, that is not... Those are colossal acts of war.
Egypt and Ethiopia, we're working on that right now. I met yesterday with...
Egypt and Ethiopia aren't at war. They have an ongoing dispute over like the water accumulation for like Ethiopia's dam system and how that in turn affects the Nile. Like, they have a dispute over natural resources. They don't have a war happening right now.
A very good general and a very good leader of Egypt. We're working on a dam that was built which precludes the Nile River from getting water. It's a little tough situation. But
yeah, but they aren't having a war, they're having disputes. It's just been like basically just massive negotiations over the years about how this dam is going to work and to make sure that it doesn't like destroy the natural ebb and flow of the Nile. God damn.
We'll get that settled. I really had it just about settled in my first term, and then we had a rigged election. Took me out of commission for a little while, but here I am back. We'll get it settled. But it's a pretty tough situation. A dam was built, and the water doesn't come down to the Nile. When I think of Egypt, I think of the Nile, but I think of the Nile with water in it.
As opposed to dry land? Yeah.
Armenia and Azerbaijan, a lot of these leaders have become my friends. They become my friends. They're here. And, of course, the war in Gaza, which is really coming to an end. We have little fires that we'll put out, but they're little. They were giant, massive fires, and now they're down to little fires. We can put them out very easily. We have 59 countries that are involved in peace in the Middle East. Many of them not in the Middle East. They're near the Middle East, but they're not in the Middle East.
Have you noticed how much the regime is accelerating the agenda? They are doing it because he is dying and they need to get him through so they can get a pardon.
I mean, I think that's part of it. I don't think they are... I don't think the Trump administration is unified on the fascist project, but I think that what's happening is that they are all trying to get their special treats, you know? I think that it's less that they are worried about being held accountable, and I think that it is more that they want to make sure they get their special treats. You know, like Kash Patel is too busy like partying it up to give a damn. Stephen Miller wants to go ultra-fascism, but, like, you know, he's a dipshit. So he can't really do it in a way that's good, and it's doomed to failure. So, like, he's just alienating everyone and making everyone angry as hell. And, like, that's, you know, it's not going to work out for him. We're going to beat their asses. Like, it's going to be... It's not great for them. It's not going to go well. They certainly are welcome to try going for it, but Minneapolis and Minnesota right now, showing the way forward for the rest of the country. We have to out-organize them, and we have to show the fuck up. And when we do that, they can't stop us.
And many have said that if Hamas doesn't do what they promised they would do, and I think they probably will, but they were born with rifles and...
Yeah, like, if this man, like, dies right before the midterms, or, like, even after the midterms, like, JD Vance is so fucked. JD Vance is so incredibly screwed. Like, he has no charisma, and people are gonna have the time to figure that out, and he's not gonna have the benefit of any of the support from the Trump cult. Like, I'm sorry, the cult personality is non-transferable. It doesn't work that way.
Their hands, literally born. The first day they had a rifle put into their hands, but they have to give up their weapons, and if they don't do that, it's going to be the end of them. But many countries have told me we want to go in and do it, and they really aren't countries that you traditionally think of as being involved in that. But that's a fire. Hezbollah in Lebanon, we have to do something about that. But these are, I call them remnants. They're small remnants compared to what it was before. It was massive, large, powerful countries fighting each other. In another great victory for the ultimate goal of peace in June, we obliterated Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity with Operation, we call it Operation Midnight Hammer. And it was midnight, it was dark, no moon, and every single one of those bombs from the B-2 bombers hit the air shafts and went deep into the earth and totally obliterated everything that they were doing. They were 2 months away from having a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And Iran does want to talk, and we'll talk. We've also hit ISIS in Syria, and very strongly, as you know. In my first administration, I took out al-Baghdadi, the founder.
Here, you are talking about signing into existence the Board of Peace while talking about killing leadership in other nations. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's so, like, this is comedic. Like, if you wrote this word for word and performed it, someone would say it's too ham-handed, it's too on the nose.
Of ISIS, and he was trying to start it up again because due to the tremendous talent of General Raisin Kane, as I call him, he wiped out ISIS in a period of 3 weeks in my first term. You know, we had a great first term, but the second term is, I think, blowing it away, actually. But we took out ISIS, and we had, it was gone, but during the Biden administration, it formed again a little bit. We hit it very hard in Syria. And Syria, by the way, I spoke with the president, is making a lot of progress, tremendous progress, actually. We're very happy about that. We took off all sanctions, which gives them a chance to breathe. And he is working very, very hard, and I think he's going to put it all together. So many things are happening, many good things. Threats to Europe and America, the Middle East. And
Trump's brains are so cooked, he thinks he killed al-Baghdadi.
It's true. The energy he's giving off right now, by the way, is this might be a very deep cut for you guys. Let me throw this up here.
Are you having a problem buying a home or something? Fret no more.
Hi there, Belinda's. I'm Sonar Card Gauge for Sonar Card Gauge Mortgage. We can help you get a leg up on the pile.
He's giving senior card gauge vibes, which I can't believe anyone is capable of giving these vibes.
Low rates, percent signs, I don't know.
Bad credit?
No probalo. Home loan, escrow, refinancing, you name it, we've got it. Come along.
Just
other places are really calming down. It's a lot different than it was just 1 year ago. Just 1 year ago, the world was actually on fire. A lot of people didn't know it. And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about?
Very hard.
Much of this unprecedented success is possible because I rebuilt our military in my first term, and now we're making it even stronger. We have a budget of over $1 trillion this year, and next year we're going to $1.5 trillion. Our country's never done better economically. We're taking in numbers that we've never taken in, not only the fact that the investment is at 18 trillion plus, but our jobs numbers, everything is, I think, maybe better than ever before. I think you're going to see some...
Everything is better than ever before. Come on down to senior card gauge mortgage.
And a lot of you are investing in our country. I think you're going to be extremely happy with
You can't
your
unhear it
investments. I think
good.
you'll see numbers like you haven't seen before.
Come on down and get a mortgage. You'll find numbers you've never seen before.
I also secured commitments from virtually all NATO allies to increase their defense spending to 5% of GDP. Everybody but Spain. I don't know what's happening with Spain. Why would they not do that? They want a free ride, I guess, huh? Every country but Spain increased to 5%. I don't know why. We're going to have to talk to Spain. With America's renewed attention...
Is he dying? Yes, absolutely. Like, every sentence out of him seems like it's taking, like, a year off his life. It's crazy.
...to security of the Western Hemisphere. I've stopped the invasion on our southern border and designated the...
I've stopped the invasion on our southern border.
...drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. And you probably saw that we've virtually stopped almost 100% all drugs coming in by water. And now we're going to stop them on land. The land is easy. The water is tough. But that's down now. I heard it just last night. It was 97. Now it's 98.1%. And we're trying to figure out who are the 2% that are willing to get onto those boats. I don't think they watch television or the news. But we've taken out almost 100% of all of the drugs coming into the United States by water. And now we'll, I think, very easily stop them on land. That's the easy part. We wanted to wait till the other was taken care of. And earlier this month, thanks to the unrivaled skill, power, and might of the U.S. military, we have the most powerful military in the world by far. We captured the outlaw dictator, Nicolas Maduro, and the people of Venezuela are very happy about it. And we're having great relationships with the new leaders of Venezuela. The relationships have been good. We're opening up the country to our giant oil companies, and it's going very well. We've already taken out, think of this, 50.
None of this has anything to do with the Board of Peace. It actively is unpeaceful to talk about how good you are at, like, killing people. Number one. But also, literally just today, they started bombing more boats around Venezuela again.
Million barrels of oil. And a lot of that's going to go back to Venezuela. They'll do more income with us in a short period of time than they did in years. Because as much oil as they have, and they have a lot, just about the most. After us, there's a couple of countries that are in that category, but we have the most, actually, and they're second between Venezuela and us. We have 62% of the world's oil, but they have very little production, so they'll have a lot of production. All the oil companies, we had meetings, you probably saw, all the oil companies want to go in, they want to go in immediately. They're already touring the sites. But our military was amazing. That strike was amazing. We had a second wave coming. We didn't need it. They said, no second wave. We don't want a second wave. The first wave was enough. And, of course, we're working to end the horrible killing in Ukraine, a war that should never have happened and would have never happened if I were president. That was not going to happen. I used to speak to Vladimir Putin about Ukraine, and it was the apple of his eye, but he would never have ever done it. So you can't do that, Vladimir. As part
No, Vladimir, stop it.
of this historic record of major peace initiatives, today we're announcing more details regarding the Board of Peace, so important. This board has the chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created, and it's my enormous honor.
But yeah, again, literally earlier today, U.S. Southern Command announced that they were they were bombing more boats. Super cool. At the direction of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, a Joint Task Force Southern Spear conducted a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel operated by designated terrorist organizations. Intelligence confirmed the vessel was transiting along a known narco-trafficking route in the Eastern Pacific and was engaged in narco-trafficking operations. 2 narco-terrorists were killed and 1 survived the strike. Following the engagement, U.S. Southcom immediately notified U.S. Coast Guard to activate the search and rescue system for the survivor. That is the last we know of this situation. And genuinely no idea if that survivor, made it. My guess is, given the track record of the United States, tragically lost at sea somehow is the outcome there.
To serve as its chairman. I was very honored when they asked me to do it. We had an idea to do it, and then they came. They said, "You be the chairman." And but I take it very seriously. We have a great group of people, and incredible young people that are leading it from within. It's running beautifully. Started already, and every country, just about every country, wants to be a part of it. And we just sent out the letters a couple of days ago, and these are just the countries that are here. They happen to be in Davos, so we said would be honored if you wanted to join us up on the stage. And it's really great. They're friends of mine, I think. Let me see. Yeah, every one of them is a friend of mine. Couple.
Yeah, all of these people are friends of mine. Now gonna give me $1 billion.
A couple, let's see, a couple I like. Couple I don't like. No, I like, actually, this group, I like every single one of them. Can you believe it? Usually I have about 2 or 3 that I can't stand. Usually I have 2 or 3 that I don't like.
The obsequious, clapping to that is crazy. I'm sorry, they're treating him like a child. They're treating him like he's, a special little birthday boy.
I think I like some of these guys.
Yay, good job, Timmy. Good job, you're making some friends.
I'm a special birthday boy.
I don't find him up here. I like everyone.
Yeah, the world's first Make-A-Wish president. Exactly, QETP.
Of these people. No, they're great people. They're great leaders. And the Board of Peace is composed of leaders, the top leaders in the world, actually. Last October, we released a plan for the permanent end to the conflict in Gaza, and I'm pleased to say that our vision was unanimously...
Yeah, Coder Joe, absolutely nailing it. They're trying to manage him. They're trying to manipulate him so that they can come out on top. Everyone around Trump, always, all the time, is this man is stupid as hell, and I'm going to use that stupidity to further my own agenda. That is what everyone around him does.
Well, how would you act if Timmy suddenly had Delta Force on speed dial and nukes at his command?
Well, how would you act if Timmy suddenly had Delta Force on speed dial and nuclear weapons at his command?
Adopted by the United Nations Security Council late last year. Under Phase 1 of this plan, we have painstakingly maintained that Gaza, and we're going to have it very strongly, and that's what we have. Maintained the Gaza ceasefire, delivered record levels of humanitarian aid. We've given aid, you used to hear all the people were starving and it was terrible. Now you don't hear that anymore. We've delivered record levels of humanitarian aid. I want to thank the United States, but I want to thank some of the countries that are sitting right up here, because they've sent great aid also in the form of money, where we go out and purchase food, and you don't hear those stories anymore with people starving. And secured the release of all 20, we secured the release of all 20 living hostages. Now I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared and everybody for working so hard. They worked so hard, but there were 20
God, what if he fell asleep right here? He just fell asleep on stage.
Remaining living hostages. Now, we got hundreds out, but the last 20, I said, boy, that's going to be a tough one. I said that a year before, and it was a tough one, but we got them. Got all 20, every one of them. And we had also about 28 that were dead, but the parents wanted them just as though they were living, just as much. In some cases, it almost seemed more. It was amazing, actually, the love. But their boy had been killed in just about all cases, young men.
This is what happens when Joffrey doesn't drink the wine at his wedding.
Baby, their boy had been killed, and they wanted the body of their boy, and
it
couldn't be done. And with the exception of one, and we're close on the track of that, we've got them all, every single one of them, which is amazing. It's a rough job. That was a rough job. And I've been very clear that Hamas must return that last remaining deceased hostage as well, and that will be the full.
I think they should call Hamas Hamas.
Commitment. And then we get on to other things, and we're committed to ensuring Gaza is demilitarized.
What if he had a stroke right there? We can't say he didn't.
Properly governed and beautifully rebuilt. It's going to be a great plan, and that's where the border peace really started.
Oh, he sounds so much worse than Biden.
And I think we can spread out to other things as we succeed with Gaza. We're going to be very successful.
He's gone beyond Brandon. He's gone Ultra Instinct Brandon.
In Gaza. It's going to be a great thing to watch. And we can do other things. We can do numerous other things. Once this board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do. And we'll do it in conjunction with the United Nations. You know, I've always said the United Nations has got tremendous potential, has not used it. But there's tremendous potential in the United Nations. And you have some great people at the United Nations. But so far it hasn't. You know, on the 8 wars that I ended, I never spoke to the United Nations about any of them. And you would think that I should have. You would think they could have done that.
Yeah, you'd think the United Nations could have done something. I didn't even speak to them about it. I've ended 9 wars.
Those 8 wars. But they couldn't have, and they tried, I guess, in some of them. But they didn't try hard enough. But
I've ended 12 wars.
Tremendous potential with the United Nations, and I think the combination of the Board of Peace with the kind of people we have here, coupled with the United Nations, can be something very, very unique for the world. It's for the world. This isn't United States. This is for the world. As everyone can see today, the first steps toward a brighter day for the...
Is it crass to point out that when the president falls asleep on camera, he allegedly poops his pants? You know, it might be, but I'll allow it.
Middle East and a much safer future for the world are unfolding right before your very eyes. Together we are in a position to have an incredible chance. I don't even call it a chance. I think it's going to happen. To end decades of suffering, stop generations of hatred and bloodshed, and forge a beautiful, everlasting, and glorious peace for that region and for the whole region of the world, because I'm calling...
We'll do it for that region and the whole other region called the world. We have 2 regions. We have the Middle East, and we have the region we call Earth.
Like, what? What the fuck, man? He's so cooked. He's so fucking cooked. How do Republicans not see it?
The world, a region. The world is a region. We're going to have peace in the world.
They are so committed to not seeing it that we should just call them Nazis. Because they can't see it.
And boy, would that be a great legacy for all of us. Everybody in this room is a star, or you wouldn't be here. There's a reason that you're here. And you're all stars. You're the biggest people, the most important people in the world, most powerful people in the world. And when you use that genius that you have, that very unusual, very inspired genius, when you use that for peace...
I'm sorry, just real quick, I have to backtrack that.
Genius that you have, and you're all stars. You're the biggest people, the most important people in the world, most powerful people in the world. And when you use that genius that you have, that very unusual...
You're all so smart. You're all so smart and intelligent and powerful. You bet you're just full of muscles, you little so-and-sos.
Usual, very inspired genius. When you use that for peace, the opposite of peace has no chance. So I just want to say it's tremendous to be with you, and I think this is something that we're doing that's very important. This is the most important. I was so looking forward to being here, and yesterday was a tremendous success. A lot of good things happened, but this was something that I really wanted to be here and do, and I could think of no better place because so many people were together. And now to bring the Board of Peace into full force, I ask Sheikh Isa of Bahrain and Foreign Minister Barita of Morocco to join me in signing and ratifying the Board of Peace Charter. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
God, that was genuinely terrible. That was genuinely painful as hell. And I need to apologize, but it's super important that we understand his state of mind is crumbling as fuck. I've played Elden Ring. I've seen crumbling Farah Mazula, and that doesn't hold a candle to this chuckle nut. Okay? Like, his brain is just, like, gonzo. And I want y'all to know that, like, it's super important because these people are all going to be collaborating on rebuilding Gaza. Like, that is their entire thing. Rebuilding Gaza and keeping the peace. And we're about to hear some more details about that process here from, Donald Trump's accomplices. I mean, close personal friends and colleagues. And, it's going to get really enraging, I think, would be the way I would describe it. That being said, I do just want to say, if you're enjoying the show so far, drop a like, consider subscribing if you haven't, and leave a comment longer than 8 words if you're watching this as a segment on YouTube. And also, consider supporting the show financially, and I just want to say right now, yet another day where YouTube chat is showing up Riverboat chat in the monetary support for the channel. It's rare. It's rare for Riverboat chat to be upstaged like this, and YouTube's done it twice in a row. YouTube, y'all are killing it. Thank you for the support. Anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, do the things, and let's jump into the next set of speeches here.
Now it is my honor to introduce the United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who will speak about President Trump and his accomplishments. Without further ado, Secretary Rubio.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear Marco Rubio fillet Donald Trump for like 30 minutes. Luckily, it's not going to be 30 minutes. It's going to be 21 minutes tops, but 3 people are going to speak, so 7 minutes maybe?
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today. It's an honor to serve as the Secretary of State during a historic presidency. And it's a historic presidency because the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is someone who is not limited by what others say is possible or what others say is impossible. He's not limited by some of the things that have happened in the past, and he's willing to talk to or engage with anyone in the interest of peace, always putting the American people and our national security first, but understanding that in the world that we share with so many others, peace is paramount to all of us. We are here today because of President Trump's vision. If we go back just a few months ago, people thought what was happening in Gaza was impossible to solve. 28 hostages that were dead, others that were still living, all these hostages that were being held. No one thought that that would ever come to a resolution without more fighting and more bloodshed along the way. In fact, frankly, many thought it was intractable. And sadly, many of the institutions that have served us well, in many cases, for the last 70 years, were unable to do anything about it. But President Trump had the vision and the courage to dream the impossible, to believe that it was doable, and to pursue it with all of his heart. And he was in that capacity assisted by an extraordinary team, and I think both Jared and Steve deserve a tremendous amount of credit. Jared Kushner and Steve Woodcock for all the work they...
Can we just, again, I brought this up maybe like a couple weeks ago when we were talking about another international event. What the fuck is Jared Kushner doing here? Like, Steve Witkoff has a job in the administration. Marco Rubio has a job in the administration. what is Jared Kushner's job in the administration? Because as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have one. He's just some guy. Like, he's just an unaffiliated, like, a businessman. As far as, like, it's just so transparently a scam. They aren't even bothering hiding it.
Put in. And all of our partners here today. And now we have this Board of Peace, who I believe's possibilities are endless. Obviously, with a focus, first and foremost, on making sure that this peace deal in Gaza becomes enduring. And I know this president has it as his highest priority and will give it everything he has.
Yes, I understand that Jared Kushner is family. I get it. The point I'm trying to make is that, like, him being there is very transparently just to funnel money to the Trump family. But, like, they don't even have a pretense for Jared to be there. Like, they didn't even bother to come up with a compelling lie for Jared to be involved in any of this. He's just there. And no one seems to ask any questions about it. The press have completely abdicated their responsibility when it comes to why the hell is Jared here? And he's just there.
To make sure that this is successful. I also want to acknowledge the extraordinary leaders that are here today. This is not just a board of peace, this is a board of action. Just like President Trump is a president of action. A lot of times people like to give speeches. I've been to many of these forums, and they're not useless, and they're not, they have utility in many cases. But oftentimes in international affairs, we often find ourselves at events where people are reading these scripted statements, these strongly worded letters that they put out, but no action, nothing happens. This is a group of leaders that are about action. And the President of the United States is a president of action, of getting things done. And today is the beginning of that, of a new era and a new stage that we think is so important as a model to the rest of the world of what is possible. And clearly the focus is right now on Gaza and making sure that the plan that's about to be presented to you here today, this vision for the future of Gaza.
Careful, Marco. I've been told that the Trump administration considers talking about peace in Gaza to be something that they deport you for. Careful. Careful, you're on thin ice, buddy.
This vision for the future of the region is not just possible and promising. It is our destiny if we put the time and the effort that it requires, as I know this board will do. But I also think it will serve as an example of what's possible in other parts of the world. Without losing focus on what's before us now, this is what's possible for other places and other conflicts that seem impossible to solve right now. So I want to, on behalf of the United States, on behalf of the team that worked so hard on this, thank every single one of the leaders that are here today and all the countries that have committed to joining, and many others who are going to join. You know, others either are not in town today or they have to go through some procedure internally in their own country because of constitutional limitations, but others will join. Many want to be a part of this effort because it is going to be a successful effort. And you see it reflected here today among countries of different backgrounds from different parts of the world. Majority Christian, some, majority Muslim, others, who've come to...
Oh, also, by the way, Donald Trump gets this position for life and can kick any other member out for any reason at any time, even if they paid him the $1 billion. If they anger him, they can be kicked out. It's, like, comedically terrible. And also, Donald Trump can name a successor to the Board of Peace, who will also have that position for life. And a lot of people are thinking he's going to name Jared Kushner as his successor. So get ready for a century of Kush.
Together, in fact, former adversaries who have joined here as part of this Board of Peace. And all was possible, and I want to acknowledge this again, because of the vision and the drive of the President of the United States. So thank you all for joining us here today. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Secretary Rubio. Please, if you could now turn your attention to the screens for a video message from the head of the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, Dr. Ali Shaith.
Distinguished leaders, colleagues, and friends, it is an honor to be here today. I want to start by thanking President Donald J. Trump and his administration for their intensive efforts to advance peace in the whole region. I also thank Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Qatar, and Turkey as mediators, the Palestinian Authority, and members of the United Nations Security Council for welcoming the comprehensive peace plan. These efforts created the opportunity for a new future in Gaza Strip. But what will really matter is what comes next. This transition will succeed only if it delivers real, tangible improvements in daily life for Gazans. As Chief Commissioner of the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, it's my responsibility to turn this moment into action, to restore order, to rebuild institutions, and to create a future for the people of Gaza defined by opportunity and dignity, under the principle of one authority, one law, and one weapon. As a first step, I am pleased to announce the Rafah crossing will open next week in both directions. For Palestinians in Gaza, Rafah is more than a gate. It is a lifeline and symbol of...
I feel bad for this guy because my understanding is that Ali Shah is like a lifetime bureaucrat who's worked for the Palestinian Authority, right? And like he lives in the West Bank, right? And I feel like he's probably acting in extreme good faith here because he wants the opportunity to like rebuild and like, you know, do something for his people, right? But also this entire process is subordinating him, and he really has no agency regarding what these people do. Like he's going to be essentially being given orders by this peace board, and he will have to carry them out, and it's a deeply unenviable position. I don't really know what the way forward is for Gaza at this point with this set of circumstances in front of them, but like, it sucks. It really sucks. He's a puppet. I mean, he's a puppet in a lot of ways. He does have a PhD in civil engineering, so like, ostensibly he would be one of the guys who is capable of actually like logistically rebuilding much of Gaza. I don't really know what else you could do in this situation. Like Hamas has basically come to the table and surrendered, and you have no means of resisting this. And I suppose his calculation is like, if people are going to get screwed over either way, he wants to be, you know, a component of trying to get them screwed over less. I imagine that's probably the calculation he's made, but like it's not a great situation to be in by any means.
Opportunity. Opening Rafah signals that Gaza is no longer close to the future and to the war. I want to be clear. There is much more work ahead, and none of it is easy. The road forward will involve difficult decisions and setbacks, but this is a real step, and it marks a new direction. Now, I would like to address the people of Gaza. من أرض الكنانة أتوجه الآن بكلمتي إلى أبناء شعبنا.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lesser evil type of situation, Super Jet Guy, or in a different frame, maximizing the good with the cards you are given.
صامد الصابر في قطاع غزة. لقد صمدتم وحافظتم على أسركم وأرضكم خلال سنوات عصيبة عجاف. صبرت أعماقكم وكل الحدود. إن صمودكم الأسطوري لهو أعظم ما قدمت غزة وهو الأساس الذي...
Oh yeah, no, they are absolutely using him to give this a veneer of like respectability. Yeah. Like he's being used. I'm sure he's aware of that. And I'm sure it's going to become a problem for him in very short order.
سنبني عليه سويا مستقبلنا. إن هذه اللحظة ليست للنظر.
He's not there in person, is he? He lives in the West Bank. So he lives under occupation as well in the West Bank.
الخلف بل مضي قدما نحو مستقبل زاهر مشرق. مستقبل ينشأ فيه أبناؤنا بلا خوف وقلق. يكافأ العمل وتفتح المدارس وتستعيد الحياة اليومية استقرارها وأمنها. إن المرحلة المقبلة تتطلب تضافر الجهود من قبل الجميع، ولكنكم لن تواجهوها وحدكم. أصواتكم لها وزن، وأعمالكم لها أثرها، والتزامكم بالسلام وإعادة بناء مجتمعاتكم ستحدد ملامح قطاع غزة الجديد. خطوة بخطوة وبالانضباط والعزيمة سنبني غزة قادرة على الاعتماد على ذاتها، ونرسم مكانها كمركز للحرية والفرص والسلام. Today I ask the international community not only to support this effort, but to work with us. Judge us by our actions. Hold us to clear standards. And stand with the people of Gaza as we take this responsibility for our future. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I now would like to welcome to the podium U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner.
Cool. Like, Steve Witkoff isn't even there alone to give this speech. Jared Kushner just, like, lurks behind him like some kind of Nosferatu figure.
I feel like my balls dropped again listening to that voice.
I get it, Sake. Thank you very much for the 2 Tier 1 subs.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome here. This is really my honor to be up here speaking. I remember when the president...
It's really my honor to be up here speaking. Ignore the very tall man behind me. The tall, lanky ghoul that has followed me up here. It's just a curse I have to deal with. A legacy of my family's dabblings in Transylvania.
Asked Jared, and of course our great Secretary of State, to work on something that the world thought was impossible and unattainable. But the president, on this peace deal for Gaza, as on all other deals we work on his behalf, said we had to try. And of course we were inspired by that. We have achieved a peace deal in Gaza. We have brought the hostages home, all of the bodies except for one, and we will bring that body home too. And maybe most importantly, we have created a sense of hope for what the future can bring in Gaza and all other places where the Board of Peace will operate.
It's such a fucking joke, man. Like, I know you all know this, but, like, calling it the Board of Peace, and then the President of the United States brags about all the people he's killed, and that these ghouls get up and they're just like, yes, we solved it. The entire problem solved. There's now peace here in the Middle East. And, like, you actually look at any of the news stories coming out of the Middle East, and that is absolutely not the case. Like, it's so fucking frustrating listening to these absolute clowns.
This is just a blood money effort dressed up as something that barely passes as credible looking.
I mean, it's just what it is, right? Is during the era of, like, African colonialism, right? The scramble for Africa. Part of the, like, justification for that was this endeavor to paint it as an upliftment project for African nations. Like, oh, no, we're not doing violent imperialism, we're making them better. We're bettering them. We're bringing them science and culture and technology. It's making them better. It's not violent oppression. It's uplifting. This is just a new version of that to cover for the imperialism they're about to visit upon the people of Gaza. It's really fucking gross. It's really fucking gross.
And I am so honored, Mr. President, to have worked on this on your behalf. I'd like to thank some people who are here with us tonight who have done so much, done indispensable work.
I'm gay. Hi, gay. I'm mom.
Work to bring this deal together. Sheikh Mohammed, my good friend from Qatar, and Ali Al Tawadi, Hakan, Fidan, and Ibrahim, General Hassan, and Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati, and of course, President Sisi, and Prime Minister Netanyahu, former Special Envoy Ron.
Yeah, he sounds like somebody has like a sniper trained on him right now. If he doesn't say a name right, he's gonna get the bullet.
Dermer and Michael Eisenberg for all that they did. I would also like to thank our core working group and members of the Board of Peace who have been working nonstop on behalf of this incredible noble effort, around the clock for months on end, sacrificing time with their families and their own personal lives because they believe in the mission and the vision that the president.
You know, Gamer G, you're probably correct. Legitimately, I think Trump did this to boost his chances at getting a Nobel Peace Prize. He thinks he needs to feel better than Obama and get into heaven. It's Kushner who is doing the corruption dealing. Yeah, I mean, well, I think the corruption dealing is something that Donald Trump is aware of. I don't think he cares about it all that much. You know, he's got poorer people than him to handle the money, you know? But I do think that a component of this is that he knows he's dying and he wants to get into heaven and he wants like some assurance or some symbol that he thinks will indicate that he is going to go to heaven when he dies, right? And so he's willing to say, well, this just so happens to coincide with his long-term goal of getting the Nobel Peace Prize so that he's then better than Obama. You know, like, it kind of like just, it all flows together at a certain point. Has he considered confession? I don't think so. I don't think he's Catholic. I think he's just like unaffiliated evangelical, you know, to the extent he even believes in any of that bullshit, you know? Like, he does not give a shit about any religion, but like, I think he's just scared of dying.
Has set out for us. I'd also like to thank, those people include Tony Blair, Yakir Gabay, Josh Grunbaum, Aryeh Lightstone, Laron Tonkman, Admiral Cooper, General Frank, and I probably have forgotten some along the way. And then perhaps most importantly, I want to thank our administration. We have an incredible team. It's amazing to work for this administration. I think you see the results that we get on behalf of the president because he inspires us so much. So I'd like to thank the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, for all of his help and guidance, our Treasury Secretary, of course, the Secretary of State, who we work hand in glove with, and a special thanks to our Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, who is always available to us for consultation, for steering, and for all else that she does. Thank you.
Again, it is absolutely ludicrous that the United States is trying to form this board of peace while simultaneously Donald Trump is threatening to invade Venezuela again, Greenland, Iceland, like, and attack Iran. Like, it's crazy. It's fucking nuts. I'm having like a meltdown about that internally. There's like a guy right now, Representative Greg Stube, who's openly talking about how he would love for the U.S. to go to war against France.
This in theaters was so cool.
It's all such a joke. I can't. I'm so mad about everything all the time these days. But holy shit. Any one of these things under normal circumstances would sink an administration, but for whatever reason, this dumb-ass orange bitch gets away with everything. Also, again, just to reiterate, Greg Stube wants to go he wants to see U.S. members of the military shooting at and being shot by French armed forces. He literally said that on Benny Johnson's latest show. Like, fuck, we live in crazy times.
Thank you, Steve. And I have to say, one of the great honors for me of being able to work on this has been working with Steve, who really is as brilliant as he is. His heart is tremendous. It's a lot of fun to be with. And even in some of these, very difficult moments where we didn't think things were happen, working together really was an amazing treat. I'm going to go now today just through a couple quick slides just to
well, I'm glad this man got to experience a treat. This guy who looks indistinguishable from the crazed commander, what's his face? That pasty white bitch from The Force Awakens. General Hux. Yeah. This guy looks just like a fucking one bad day away from this guy. Like, God. Yeah, don't worry though. We can trust this guy. He certainly won't ever betray us for money.
show you the progress that's been made in the last couple months. It was just over 100 days ago that we got the final deal done, and everyone was celebrating and joyous about the hostages coming home and the end to this long war that nobody thought was possible. And Steve and I were panicking, saying, what do we do next? How do you implement peace? And as you guys know, peace is a different deal than a business deal because you're changing a mindset. And in Israel, there was 2 years of very intense war. For the people in Gaza, there was more than just 2 years of war. They had 20 years of hopelessness being ruled by a terrorist organization. For the people in the Middle East, their hearts were pulled by this. And throughout the entire world, it really was weighing on us. And so we needed to think about, what do we do next? How do we change the habits? How do we change the behaviors? And we really got to work right away. And the team that Steve thanked, including the White House team and the team, the volunteers. It's really been an incredible effort, very entrepreneurial, and we really did it in the...
He was revealed to be a spy in the last one. Yeah, but that last movie was bad.
way. I've been working now with President Trump for 10 years on politics, and what continues to amaze me is that he always takes a first principles approach and says, what's the most optimal outcome? Aim for that, whereas politicians are always focused on the downside or what could go wrong, or how to make it a little bit better.
Even, I know it's beside the point, even his reason for being a spy was bad. His reason for being a spy was just, I don't like the new supreme leader. I like him. He's bad. I'm gonna betray him and risk my life for my petty vendetta. Like, that's stupid and bad. That's like, at a certain point, just kill your rival and take his job. That's literally what the other guy did, man. I don't know. Seems like you had better options.
He always says, aim for the best possible and, do your best to get there. And if everyone thinks it's impossible, that's even more reason why you should aim for it. And so really...
Is he gonna, like, quote Gretzky at this point? Like, aim for the stars and sometimes you'll hit the moon!
I think it's all about climate change.
Thank you for the leadership and the inspiration.
In habitable zones, exposure to Arctic crossings. Trump's puppeteers are looking to 2050.
Nah, Trump's puppeteers do not give a fuck about 2050. They give a fuck about next quarterly earnings. Every single one of these sycophants around Donald Trump, none of them have long-term plans. All of their plans are, how do we maximize profit in the short term? And then we'll be the special boys smart enough to take that bag and run before the whole thing collapses like a house of cards, Like, they all think they're going to outsmart everyone else by timing the market, essentially. And you never do that. That's a bad strat. But that's what they all think, They're all hucksters, and I do mean that HUXSTERS. Because they're all Nazi adjacent. Anyway.
For doing this, and I think you'll see today we've achieved more than thought was possible, and
the reference went too deep. I apologize.
Our ambition is still to go for something, I think, better than most people think is possible as well. So let's see if these things work. They never usually work. Good. So quickly, I'll go through this 2-year war, 90,000.
Yeah, that's right. Our boy Jared Kushner brought a PowerPoint to the Board of Peace. So let's take a look at his very smart boy PowerPoint about what the future of Gaza will be, according to these dipshits.
1,000 tons of munitions. There's over 60 million tons of rubble there, and tens of thousands of fatalities. Through the ceasefire, we were able to get to through the 20-point plan, ceasefire, release of hostages, getting the UN.
Can I just say one thing that I fucking hate and despise about this? The fact that for tens of thousands of fatalities, they use a picture of a guy in a military helmet. The vast, overwhelming majority of fatalities in Gaza are women and children, are non-combatants. But, like, the image they picked is a soldier. Let's see, 20-point plan, ceasefire, release of hostages, UNSCR 2803, historic humanitarian aid.
Resolution passed was a huge effort, really thanks to Mike Waltz and the whole team there. They did an incredible job. And we've then, with the help of the UN, we've worked very well with them. This is why you need a new organization like the Board of Peace to work with the UN. I want to thank Tom Fletcher, did an incredible job of really getting it going. We've done historic humanitarian.
Sucks when soldiers dress as civilians and hide behind them. Yeah, and as we all know, the solution to that is you shoot the civilian and the soldier. We all remember that scene from Die Hard where Hans Gruber takes, John McClane's wife hostage, and then John McClane is just like, well, there's only one solution to this problem, and shoots his wife and then Hans Gruber as Hans Gruber looks on in shock. It was a shocking end to an action film, but it was the only solution. Fucking dipshit-brained people coming in here doing apologia for fucking genocide. Fuck you.
Aid. Going forward, number one thing is going to be security. Obviously, we've been working very closely with the Israelis to figure out a way through de-escalation. And the next phase is working with Hamas on demilitarization, which I'll talk about in a second. But without security, nobody's going to make investments. Nobody's going to come, build there. We need investments in order to start giving jobs. We want to take these people. 85% of the aid of Gaza, 85% of the GDP of Gaza has been aid for a long time. That's not sustainable. It doesn't give these people dignity. It doesn't give them hope. And so we want to use free market economy principles. A lot of what President Trump spoke about that he's doing in America, we want to bring the same mindset, the same approach to a place like Gaza to give these people the ability to thrive and have a good life. Let's see. So on the aid, I mentioned the UN.
Yeah, how do we turn these people into profitable workers?
So now people are talking about famine. 100% of the food needs are met, and that's been overabundance. The cost of goods have gone down tremendously. Over 55,000 trucks have gone in, and over 1.4 million.
The cost of goods has gone down tremendously. It was coming in as aid, man. Like what? Okay.
Million pallets. And it's been the largest humanitarian effort done into a war zone that anyone's been able to tell us about. This really has been a great joint effort that everyone's been able to do. And so it's a
it's totally great, totally wonderful. They could have done this a year ago and prevented so many deaths from people who were starving to death and children who were starving to death.
A great thing. We all just heard from Ali. We have been so impressed. Steve and I were speaking to him and the entire committee. Such bravery of these people to step up, and we've worked with the Palestinian Authority, who's been helping us as well. But this committee is the first time it's a technocratic, apolitical committee. I really want to thank the Arab partners for helping us.
Okay, just real quick, you can't describe something as technocratic and apolitical. Technocracy is not an apolitical system. I hate these people.
Select the right people to do this.
It genuinely is one giant slideshow of, remember, the most important people in all of this are the shareholders, the investors. We have to make sure they get their money back.
And we just need to believe in them and support them. I put this up here. It's probably a little too small for me to read, but this is really important if you saw the mission statement.
Oh yeah, let's read the mission statement. Authorized by the UN Security Council, Resolution 2803, and President Donald J. Trump's 20-point plan, the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza is dedicated to transforming the transitional period in Gaza into a foundation for lasting Palestinian prosperity. That seems like if it's a transitional period, you don't need to transform the transitional period. Like, it's transitioning. The transition exists to get it to the prosperity. Why? Who wrote this? Under the guidance, this is like ChatGPT shit. Under the guidance of the Board of Peace, chaired by President Donald J. Trump and with the support and assistance of the High Representative for Gaza, our mission is to rebuild the Gaza Strip, not just in infrastructure, but also in spirit. Yeah, guys, the guy who has the Golan Heights named after him, he's gonna do such a good job overseeing the reconstruction efforts in Gaza. We are committed to establishing security, restoring the essential services that form the bedrock of human dignity, such as electricity, water, healthcare, and education, as well as cultivating a society rooted in peace, democracy, and justice. Operating with the highest standards of integrity and transparency, the NCAG will forge a productive economy capable of replacing unemployment with opportunity for all, baby. We embrace peace, through which we strive to secure the path to true Palestinian rights and self-determination. So cool. Yeah, written by
This makes all the Israel pleasuring by Biden seem even more pointless. He literally torched his reputation for someone who praised Trump as Israel's best prez.
It genuinely, like, the obsequiousness of Biden towards Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel at large torpedoed, like, the chances he had at becoming president again, or Kamala Harris's chances. Oh, so slavery? I mean, yeah, I don't hold up much hope that Palestinian citizens are going to be coming out of this very well.
So Hamas's mission statement was, we need to destroy the state of Israel. That has not worked well for the people, as we've seen. Their mission statement is, we are committed to establishing security, restoring the essential services that form the bedrock of human dignity, such electricity.
I do want to know, like, so Israel isn't going with annexation, right? But, like, they're absolutely not going to allow for, like, Palestinian self-determination here, right? So, like, what exactly are the day-to-day existence going to be here? Like, I understood how Gaza's, like, zones worked prior to this. Is it still going to be that? Is it still going to be that, like, what zone you're born into determines what right of travel you have for the rest of your life within, like, Gaza? Like, I think that this is going to be, I think that what we're going to see here is slavery with extra steps.
Water, healthcare, and education, as well as cultivating a society rooted in peace, democracy, and justice, operating with the highest standards of integrity, transparency. So these are the basic things. Their goal is to have peace and to help their people, which is an obvious mission statement for a government, but actually fairly novel for Gaza. So we did a master plan. We brought in, I thank you, Yakir Gabay, who's one of the most successful real estate developers and brilliant people I know. He's volunteered to do this, not for profit, really because of his heart. He wants to do this. And we've developed ways to redevelop Gaza. Gaza, as President Trump's been saying, has amazing potential. And this is for the people of Gaza. We've developed it into zones. In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know.
Oh, God. Okay, the master plan. Coastal tourism with residential zones, 180 towers with mixed use. Oh, God. Industrial complex data centers. Yay! We'll build our AI data centers in Gaza, of course! God. Look, they're basically slaves, so it doesn't matter if you poison them with gases. Of course! Oh, parks, agriculture, and sports facilities. Huzzah! The residential areas. Oh, I see. So the coast is fully reserved. The coastline is fully reserved for tourists. All residential areas are not connected in any way to the water. Okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome stuff. It's hard to make out where the roads are on this map. Well, we've got a port. We've got logistics. train and backport logistics, the Rafah trilateral crossing right there, and then you have an airport right here.
Let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we are going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B is. We do not have a plan B. We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan.
So basically, they're going to just rebuild starting with Rafah and work their way up to Gaza City. Cool. Yeah.
And we'll be doing it in phasing. In the Middle East, they build cities like this in 2-3 million people. They build this in 3 years, and so stuff like this is very doable if we make.
Oh yeah, bro. You're gonna rebuild. You're gonna rebuild the Gaza Strip in 3 years. Cool. I bet all of the working age folks in Gaza are gonna get well-paying construction jobs, and you're gonna compensate them fairly and make them very wealthy in the process of doing all this work to rebuild Gaza, huh?
It happen. Rafah will start with. This will show a lot of workforce housing. We think this could be done in 2-3 years. We've already started.
Oh, cool. It's not even Rafah anymore. It's new Rafah.
Removing the rubble and doing some of the demolition. And then New Gaza. It could be a.
Oh, okay. They literally, all of their statements were written by AI. Like, this is clearly AI generated, like, slop for their vision of coastal tourism in Gaza. Oh, God. Okay. This is so appalling.
Hope it could be a destination, have a lot of industry, and really be a place that the people there can thrive, have great employment.
Yeah. Look.
From Gaza Strip to Gaza Strip Mall.
You're taking away their seaside homes. But look, you're giving them good paying hotel jobs. Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs. Yeah. We got to turn the Gaza Strip into a strip mall, indeed.
Once this starts going, we think there should be 100% full employment and opportunity for everybody there. And we have a lot of data on what can be, but we think that this really gives the Gazan people an opportunity to live their aspirations. But it all starts with security.
Do you have any strats for not hating the guts of Trump voters who happen to be in your social circles?
Honestly, my best strat is to engage with them as individual people and not to attribute to them the actions of elected officials. You know, it's difficult because I have a lot of contempt for a lot of folks who voted for Trump. Because Donald Trump is like, I live in Minneapolis. Like, Donald Trump is directly the cause of a lot of my everyday terror and problems as, like, armed agents of the state disappear kids out of schools. I suppose engaging with them as individual human beings and trying to get them to see other people as human beings. Having some hope that they can do that. Because people can change. I hold out hope that people can change. But I also don't hold my breath for it. Ugh. God. It's a tough situation to be in, though. Thank you for the $5 super chat. After I came out as trans, I had to cut out a lot of conservative folks from my life because they were unable to engage with me as a human being. So it's a hard problem, and sometimes you can't solve it. Let's see. Empowering Gazans with jobs, training, and services.
And it all starts with governance. Final note I'll just say on the Board of Peace, which is that all the lessons.
10 billion plus expected GDP in 10 years. 500,000 new jobs. $25 billion in investments. 13,000 plus average annual household income in 10 years. Wow.
Since we're doing is we're basically studying the best practices from all over the world, and we're watching who does education the best, who does healthcare delivery the best. All of these things are.
They're going to use Gaza as like their little anarcho, like capitalist wet dream project. They're basically going to turn Gaza into what Peter Thiel wants to do to Greenland. Like they're going to try and do like a Gaza network state. I guarantee you, like at some point they're going to bring on Peter Thiel or one of the billionaire oligarchs onto this Board of Peace. in order to try and, test run these network state ideas. Yeah, Freedom City, exactly.
Or it's not secret IP. All this is IP that the Board of Peace is going to make public, and we want to encourage all the countries to be able to.
All of this is intellectual property that we're gonna make public. The fuck you talking about? You pencil-necked weirdo.
Follow these best practices. A lot of the things that President Trump is doing in America, if
the fact that you thought people were going to be worried about the intellectual property of the Board of Peace, fuck you.
they're working, we should all be copying them. If we find what's working in other countries, we should be copying them too. And so what the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're successful with Gaza is really show how do you do peace implementation, which is something that when we got this deal done, we didn't really find too much expertise or know-how on how to do it. So as we're creating this system, hopefully it's something that we can just
What the fuck? Sorry.
All this is IP that the Board of Peace is going to make public, and we want to encourage all the countries to be able to follow these best practices. A lot of the things that President Trump is doing in America, if they're working, we should all be copying them. If we find what's working in other countries, we should be copying them too. And so what the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're successful with Gaza is really
sexful.
How do you do peace implementation, which is something that when we got this deal done, we didn't really find too much expertise or know-how on how to do it. So as we're creating this system, hopefully it's something that we can just document these learnings and make them available to all else who want to use it.
Yeah, as we're throwing together a bunch of this bullshit together, hopefully it works, and we'll document it, and you all can do that bullshit in your countries too.
Them in the future. So demilitarization, this is something we're starting now that we have a new government in Gaza.
Yeah, open source imperialism is an excellent way of describing what they're describing here. Carnell, very well done.
This government will be working with Hamas on the demilitarization to really take the principles that were agreed to in the document to the next phase, and hopefully that will be successful. Without that, we can't rebuild. So if Hamas does not demilitarize, that will be what holds back Gaza and the people of Gaza from achieving their aspiration, and that's very important. So the next 100 days, we're going to continue to just be heads down and focused on making sure this is implemented. We continue to be focused on humanitarian aid, humanitarian shelter.
I want to go back to the previous slide real quick. Demilitarization principles, single civilian authority. So first the NCAG, and then later a transfer to the Palestinian Authority after some reforms. Unsure what those reforms are, but okay. Why are they pretending like they invented peace? Because it's the only way they can justify this cockamamie board that they've put together. One authority, one law, one weapon. All weapons are authorized by one authority only, the NCAG. A monopoly on force. All militant armed groups, internal security, and police organizations dismantled or integrated into NCAG following rigorous vetting. It's going to be really hard to prevent weapons from proliferating within Gaza, just as an FYI. Palestinian-led, process led by Palestinians, internationally verified. What does that mean? I'm sorry, like they are verified as Palestinians by an international board? What are you talking about? Palestinian comprehensive decommissioning, heavy weapons tunnels, military infrastructure, weapons production facilities, and munitions destroyed. Part of the problem here is that like the weapons production facilities were just like genuinely producing other stuff, and that stuff then got like combined together to make weapons. Like I don't know that this is actually doable at all. Demilitarization unlocks investment reconstruction only in sectors with full disarmament. Personal security for disarmament. Heavy weapons decommissioned immediately. Personal arms registered and decommissioned by sector as NCAG police becomes capable of guaranteeing personal security. End state, only NCAG sanctioned personnel may carry weapons. Amnesty and reintegration. Okay. Wait, disarmament rewarded with amnesty and reintegration or safe passage? I guess like if a group wants to just leave, I guess they can. Sequenced and verified phased execution with independent verification that leads to calibrated IDF withdrawal to the security perimeter based on agreed upon standards. That seems absurdly vague. Completion equals withdrawal. Gaza-wide demilitarization enables full IDF withdrawal to the security perimeter.
And that's very important. So the next 100 days, we're going to continue to just be heads down and focused on making sure this is implemented. We continue to be focused on humanitarian aid, humanitarian shelter, but then creating the conditions to move forward. So thank you. Final point I'll just make is this is really only possible because of the work of so many people and President Trump's great leadership. But a lot of you have been asking, how can we help? So the countries have all been incredibly generous. We'll be doing the first conference where we'll announce a lot of the contributions that will be made in a couple weeks in Washington. From the private sector, there'll be amazing investment opportunities. I know it's a little risky to be investing in a place like this, but we need you to come, take faith, invest in the people, try to be a part of it. And then finally, I'll just talk to people on the media and on the social media, which is this deal only happened because we worked with Israel, we worked with Turkey, we worked with Qatar, we worked with Saudi, we worked with Egypt. I mean, everyone worked together. We worked with UAE. We all.
What about with the Palestinians? Did you work with the Palestinians?
Work together to make this happen. I see a lot of people trying to escalate, criticizing Israel or Israelis criticizing Turkey or Qatar. Just calm down for 30 days. I think that the war's over. Let's do our best to try working together. Our goal here is peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. Everyone wants to live peace.
It's so weird how everyone was consulted except for the Palestinians on this peace plan for the Palestinians in Gaza. Okay.
Peacefully. Everyone wants to live with dignity. Let's put our efforts towards promoting those who are doing the work to build this up, like Ali and his committee. Let's focus on the positive stories and let's just calm down, turn a new chapter. And if we believe that peace is possible, then peace really can be possible. So we're going to continue to work every day. We need all of your help to do it. And again, I just really want to thank President Trump for his leadership in doing this. This would not have been possible without your commitment to this. Everyone thought it was impossible to end this war. You never gave up. You never stopped. Every time there was a setback, you told us to try harder. You gave us different ideas. And we've made several impossible things happen just in Gaza to date. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make even more impossible things happen. So really thank you for your amazing leadership.
Truly disgusting. Ended with a hand job. Just openly discussing, ripping apart these communities of people who have been bombed relentlessly for years and killed en masse. And you're just yeah. Well, we're gonna cut them off from any kind of water access with massive tourist towers and hotels that they can work at for gainful employment. And that will solve all their problems. Look, guys. The solution that the Palestinian people were looking for is just that they need to become hotel maids. Hotel maids and janitors. That's the solution. If we employ them as hotel maids and janitors, then guess what? They'll do fine. I cannot believe that's their plan. I cannot believe it. Yeah, just make them into household servants. I can, because it's that evil. I mean, I can't believe it. It's just it's nuts. It's nuts that the folks who are in charge here are so deluded that they think they can spin this as a positive thing. This will be Trump's Epstein Island. Yes. God. It's gonna be truly disgusting. People are gonna be, the human rights abuses are going to make people vomit. I didn't think it was that openly evil. It is. Especially when you keep in mind that Israel is still bombing Gaza. Israel literally just killed 3 journalists today. And they're all like, the war's over now, everyone. The war's over. Don't, you've done something that's utterly impossible, sir. Meanwhile, Israel's still bombing Gaza. They are eradicating everything that was there. They're bulldozing blocks upon blocks of the old cities. Destroying it, and
I saw a post from a
monstrous.
friend decrying tearing the Hmong man from his home and displacing him. without realizing the irony of her being a dual citizen with Israel.
Ooh, yeah, that stings. That stings. Oof. It's just like, man, this entire thing is like doomed for failure. But all these guys, they think they figured it out. They think they figured it out. But again, trying to eradicate a people, doing cultural and, doing cultural genocide, doing genocide to them. Like, there's a concerted effort to wipe out Palestinian history. There's a concerted effort to wipe out Palestinian culture. And, like, these guys come in and they're just like, well, what if we wiped it out even more with executive parks and luxury hotels? What if we built luxury hotels over the bones of your family? Would you like that? Wouldn't you like how prosperous it would make you to be a maid in one of these luxury hotels that was built over the bones of your children? Wouldn't that be great for you?
You want to return to your destroyed home? How about realizing that it's not your home anymore and working at a hotel to give it to tourists?
Yeah. Hey, we never were able to recover the bodies of your entire extended family that died with that one bomb while huddling for shelter. But, now you can go to work every day in this AI data center that was built over their corpses. It's really fucking awful. And yeah, Biden is absolutely fucking complicit with all this shit. Instead of actually doing anything about it, which he could have done at literally any fucking time. At any fucking time, Biden could have picked up the phone and told Netanyahu to cut it the fuck out. He could have done it at any time. One phone call. And instead, he didn't. And instead, he vilified college students who were horrified at genocide. Instead, he, participated in the campaign against college students who were speaking out against the genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. Like, it is an enduring shame in the Democratic Party and in America at large that we allowed that to happen. And, I gotta be honest, it's still fucking happening. There are still Democratic politicians right now taking hundreds of thousands of dollars from AIPAC, the lobbying arm that is keeping them in line to stay relatively silent on the abuses directed towards Palestinian people. It's really fucking gross. All these corporate Dems, all of them, for the longest time, they thought, oh, there's no cost associated with this. Yeah, I support Israel. Give me that sweet, sweet money. But then when push came to shove and a genocide was happening, perpetrated by Israel, turns out that the bill came due, and a lot of them paid it by shutting the fuck up. They shut the fuck up and they let it happen. It is a stain on our national legacy that, as Americans, we stood by and let that happen. So, anyway, capitalism is going to consume us all. Unless we fight it. It's going to consume us all unless we fight it. So, all that being said, folks, yeah, just know the Board of Peace is a fucking joke. It's a sick fucking joke that is going to basically turn this into an investment opportunity to enslave the people of Gaza to boardrooms full of executives. It's grotesque. And, folks, we got to get organized. Organize and radicalize your local Democratic Party so we can kick out these corporatist fucks who are on the payroll of the corporate and international elite. Get organized and make your DSAs more effective so we can continue the push for unionization, so we continue the push back against capitalist power. And folks, if you need help doing those things, join our Discord, reach out to Gamergy for help joining your local DSA, reach out to Dragonfly for help radicalizing your local Dems. It is doable, it is possible. We just need enough of us to do it. And folks, if you got anything out of this, leave a like. 8-word comments apparently do well in the algorithm, so longer than 8 words if you would like if you're watching this on YouTube. And consider dropping a sub or a dono or a membership or a super chat, so you can support the show, because you guys make this show possible. I don't have any corporate sponsors. It's just you guys. So all that being said, folks, do the things. Get organized. Let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and switching streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, being flame more.